Celeb Secrets is hanging out with girlfriends today. We have Travis Mills and Nick Gross with us. What's going on, guys? How are you?
We are excellent. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much for taking the time to hang out with us. I'm really stoked to talk to you guys because I feel like the music is so good and I cannot wait for people to hear it when it comes out.
Cool. Thank you so much. I think we've been patiently waiting for it to actually come out, and we feel like it's the next era of girlfriends. We're excited.
Travis is lying. We actually think it stinks. It's the worst batch of music we've ever put out. So thank you for the compliment.
Thanks for lying to us.
Oh, please. Oh, please. The big day's Friday, right? So only 3 more days.
3 more days. We're counting down. We're just getting all of our ducks in a row, and then what's cool is like we put out this body of work, and then we go on tour. We get to go play these shows and play these songs live for people.
Yeah. So maybe can you take me through the creative process? Because I know you guys are always constantly writing and recording. How did you choose this batch of songs for this new EP?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it was really just about, I think, it was our first time stepping away from our grandfather, John Feldman.
Yeah.
Our godfather, I should say, not grandfather. I'm doing him a disservice by saying that. The godfather, John Feldman. So we wanted to try some music with potentially different people, and Andrew Goldstein was an awesome partner for these songs on the EP, and so we kind of, just spent a lot of time at his house over the period of probably 8 to 12 months, and just creatively kind of came out with 10 different ideas, and these are the 5 that kind of made it on the EP. We have a song called Thanks Anyway that was kind of a late song that we threw on the EP that we really, really liked. And yeah, it was just cool to kind of change up some of the sound of things, the style of how we wrote these songs, the energy in the rooms, and just to see like what else we could get that would be a little bit different than our first 2 albums. So this is kind of the 5-song EP that we're gonna put out, and we're excited just to kind of give fans some new music this year.
It's funny that you talked about the sound, how you said you kind of changed a little bit, because when I listened to the EP, it just has like that pop punk nostalgic sound that I feel like we need right now in the music space. So how did you guys put your heads together to be like, okay, this is what we're gonna make it sound like?
I think it's just what naturally comes out when Nick and I get into a room together. I think it's a culmination of everything that we grew up listening to and loving. I think it's like the experiences that, I draw on to write about. It's, it's emotion, it's angst, it's energy. And I think it all kind of culminates into what you hear on the EP. I don't think we ever like sit down and we're like, we should do, if that's giving us too much credit, I think we kind of just sit down and we get into a room, and what comes out is what comes out. And I feel like that's how music should be.
Yeah, and I feel like it makes you guys true to yourselves, where you're not trying to, put out a certain persona if it's something that you're just feeling. I feel like it would resonate better with the fans in that sense.
100%. Yeah, I think anytime where, you try to have anything too contrived, or, you want to do something like this, it never really quite comes out as you planned. And so it's kind of just like, walking into a room, it's like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. And so it's like, let's see what comes out today, and we'll go from there. And that's exactly what we did on this EP. And, we would have never had a song like Life's a Britney if we overthought it, because I'm the king of overthinking. But, working with someone like Goldstein, the beauty of that is, immediately I was like, oh, yeah, it's funny, it's like quirky, but like we can't say that in a song. And he's like, why not?
Yeah.
And we did, and it's one of my favorite songs on the EP.
Oh, that's nice. I feel like I was going to ask you guys what are your favorite tracks off the record. You kind of answered that, but what's something that you're most proud of, maybe, that you created with Goldstein and everybody that you're working on, that you're just like, oh, I'm so happy that we did this and I can't wait for people to see it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, our song Plastic, which is the focus track for the EP, I think we had like the most fun making,
okay,
for whatever reason, in the room. Like we were like ecstatic when we made that song, I think just because of the energy that it has. And so that's why we made it the focus track of the EP. And we're really excited about that song. I think it's a pretty great song that people resonate with and hopefully like.
Yeah. Is there like a story though that you're trying to tell with this body of work? Because I feel like you guys are just so creative that there's got to be some type of like hidden message or something that you really want people to take away from the songs.
There's nothing hidden. I think it's just
Okay.
like these are, songs about obviously getting over painful relationships and experiences. And if anything, it's kind of I think it's like the empowerment breakup EP, right? And it's
Yeah.
like kind of like finding yourself after losing yourself in a relationship or, heartbreak. And I know that's like what I tend to be inspired by a lot is everything that I've kind of been through in my life.
Mhm.
And I don't know, when I sit down to write songs, this is what comes out. But it's cool because, everybody, I feel like there's nobody on earth that hasn't felt that, right? Like anyone who's fallen in love has also had their heart broken. And I think it's a really honest, it's an honest place to create art. And, that's essentially all we're trying to do, right? Is be honest. And I feel like that's how you also build community. So like when you listen to these songs, whether, you're 15 years old, whether you're 35 years old, it's like you can all kind of tap in to that feeling and that memory of having your heart broken.
Oh, totally. And it's crazy that you guys said that you're going to release this music and then you're going to bring it on the road. I've been seeing on Instagram that you guys are crushing it with Avril Lavigne. What's that experience been like? Because that has to be really cool for you guys.
Dream come true.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Yeah, we're pinching ourselves every day on the tour, like remember back in 2020, I think her name came up with something and the conversation was like, wow, do you think we'd ever be able to tour with her? And then, 2 years later, here we are. So yeah, it was, the shows were amazing. I think it was like awesome to be able to hear our songs in arenas and be able to play songs of that like in those situations of that magnitude. And, yeah, cool to connect with other people in other countries as well. That's been kind of a long time coming.
Yeah. And it's got to be nice to see like how, she runs a live show because I know you guys are no stranger to the touring scene, live show scene. So did you maybe pick anything up where like, okay, like I really like how, her and her crew does this. Maybe we should kind of incorporate it into our own shows and productions.
Confetti cannons and pyro.
CO2 cannons, lots of limoncello shots while performing, things like that.
Okay. All right. I love that. So then you're going to have to use that when you're on the road this summer because you're going to be on with the Used and Pierce the Veil. I feel like it just keeps getting better and better for you guys. Like, I'm like, this is so cool. So tell me about that. Are you stoked to get on the road with them?
I think it's another kind of absolute dream come true. I mean, The Used was one of the bands that I remember listening to, when I was a teenager, absolutely falling in love with their music for the first time, the first time that I heard it. Bert actually featured on our debut album. We got to do a song with him, which is awesome. And so, I toured in 2012 on Warped Tour with Pierce the Veil. So it just feels like a culmination of a bunch of different eras of our lives. And we get to play some amazing venues, and I think the one that I'm most excited about is the Irvine show because all of our family and friends are going to get to come out. But yeah, I mean, just another bucket list tour for us. It's like Rockstar Summer Camp.
My 3.5-year-old son went from singing Old MacDonald to Pierce the Veil songs, so he's a big fan. He'll definitely be at the shows.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that. Now, like you guys keep saying, it's bucket list moments for you guys, but is there anything else that you really want to conquer this year? We still have some time. You've already done so much. Going to be releasing a project.
I think we're really excited to go and headline on the East Coast and obviously all of our UK shows, right? It's like our first time going out there.
Yeah.
Our 2 UK headliners are sold out. So like that's a huge accomplishment for us. We get to go play our first festival out there. I think it's just focusing on making more amazing music, right? Like sitting down and really kind of putting our heads down and writing a third record, but also proving ourselves on the road, through touring and I guess cultivating our fan base and connecting with people, in a live setting, because that's why anyone does this, right? Like we sit in rooms for hours and hours a day for months at a time, making songs to ultimately go play them live. So I think we're just really excited to go and play these shows, and in turn, the shows are going to inform the music that we make after this run.
I feel like you have so many songs in the bank. Have you thought about releasing more? Like or you're just gonna tour this little EP?
We're gonna tour this EP and obviously play a lot of songs from our first and second albums as well. But yeah, the plan really the back half of the year is to start thinking a bit more creatively around album 3 for 2024 and what that potentially could look like. So I think we're excited to like continue to make songs after this EP and, you know, tour these next 2 months and kind of take a step back to chill and get in the room and see what comes out. You know, we can make a jazz album. Who knows? Album 3, you know, jazz by girlfriends.
Right.
Travis is a crazy saxophone player. Great flutist, the whole deal. Windpipes.
Oh.
He's a great windpipe player.